Hello, humans. I'm Yoshiller. I'm making a video. It's not scripted. It's not exactly enthusiastic. And just a note here at the beginning of the video. I'm not making this video to mooch off views. I'm not making this video because someone told me to. I'm making this video because I want to make this video. I am not, trying to get my name out there. If I wanted to do that, there are other ways I could do that. This is a video of me just, giving my thanks and my heartfelt consent to Satoru Iwata, who was the CEO of Nintendo, and he passed away today on July 12th, 2015. I had another video that I was gonna work on, but I decided that this one was ultimately more important. My other videos can wait because this really is just heartbreaking news. And I don't need to make this video, but I want to make this video. If Nintendo wants to content ID claim it, good for them. I just want to get my thoughts out there. And yeah, this really is just me acting suddenly. I was lying down actually. I was lying down because I haven't been feeling well. And my buddy Tails channel, uh, he does YouTube videos. He called me because he has my phone number from when we go to events together, and he called me in a state of emergency, letting me know that Iwata died. And I felt like the first thing I should do is mourn and say how much Iwata actually meant to me on a personal level. I didn't really, go online. I didn't, check Twitter, not check YouTube. I just give my own thoughts. Satoru Iwata just meant a lot to me, and I felt like I should make a video explaining that. So, uh, let me just get out of the way. I do really like Satoru Iwata. Okay, there are a lot of people that always bash Satoru Iwata. They would say that he should be fired. They would blame any poor Nintendo decision on him. They would say the Wii U was a flop because of him. They would anything bad that would happen at Nintendo, people would blame on Iwata, and that's something I never agreed with. I would always tell people Iwata's doing his best. He makes a lot of sacrifices for the company, and he is a good guy. Like as for those of you that don't know, I actually write Nintendo related gaming news for GoNintendo.com on the side of making YouTube videos. And there was just information that I would post where Iwata was just legitimately a really smart and dedicated guy. Like he would go to these investors meetings and he'd make all these colorful slideshow presentations, and everything that he would ever say would just sound smart. Okay? He never seemed like a business guy who just wanted money, right? Like of course he runs a company, so he has to make money. That's a must. But everything he did for Nintendo felt like things that he himself wanted to do, and things that he wanted to do just to like make others happy. Okay? Because I don't know how many people realize this, but Iwata didn't start off as an investor or someone majoring in economics. He made calculator games. He went from making calculator games to working at HAL Laboratory, and he was a programmer at HAL Laboratory, and he worked on games a lot. He worked on games like Earthbound and Kirby, Balloon Fight, all good games. And then he would become the president of HAL for I think the president of HAL just retired and Iwata took the place, but I could be wrong about that. And then Iwata became the president of Nintendo when the previous president also wanted to retire. And so Iwata took his place, and Iwata did a great job. I believe Iwata started with the GameCube, and think what you want of the GameCube, but what Iwata did was brilliant. He had a good sense of what people wanted, and in fact, if not for him, we wouldn't have Nintendo Directs. We wouldn't have such like a strong appearance as fans for Nintendo. Iwata was aware of what fans wanted, but he was also a president. He was also a boss. He had a lot to manage. He can't just look at fans. He has to sell products. He has to speak to people. And then, on his own time, he has to film stuff. So, uh, it was also interesting because just like a month ago, Iwata's approval rating went way up. It was in like the 90 percentile or something like that, and that's really good considering a year or two ago, a lot of Iwata's approval rating was down, way down. Uh, it was just like people were just starting to like Iwata again, and then he passed away due to uh, complications of bile duct growth. In other words, to fill you guys in on this too, if you guys don't recall, Iwata did not attend E3 last year, and by that I mean 2014. He did not attend E3 in 2013. Nintendo Directs were a bit scarce because Iwata actually underwent surgery. He underwent surgery for this exact reason. They found something that was growing in his bile ducts, and they treated it, and that put him out of commission for a little bit. And so for that reason, he did not attend E3, but he posted on Nintendo's Twitter saying, like, everything's good. Thank you for your messages. And then E3 2014, he didn't attend for separate reasons. He didn't attend just because he felt like he didn't want to attend. He wanted to come next year to show off the Nintendo NX, which made it seem like he was perfectly fine. He wants to come here next year to show off the Nintendo NX. So I don't think there was like a sign or anything of him not doing well. In fact, if anything was physically wrong with him, it was completely disregarded because he seemed like he was doing better than ever. He had a smile on his face most of the time. I don't want to say always, but he had a smile on his face. He seemed like he really wanted to do these Nintendo Directs. He seemed like he was happy about what he was presenting. Like there were certain things that would be shown at a Nintendo Direct, and you could just tell that he was excited to talk about it. He would interview these different developers. One, because he wanted to get to know the developers more, and two, he wanted us to get to know the developers more. That's why they put the translations on the website. And you could tell just through like their interviews, Iwata is sincerely interested in knowing who his employees are, who his colleagues are, knowing what games are being put out. Iwata was just like a smart guy. He was a great guy. He didn't have to do that. He's the president of Nintendo. He has 50,000 other things that he needs to manage. And like for that reason, he actually was an inspiration to me. I have a lot of inspirations, obviously, and most of them are content creators and game designers and all that. But even though Iwata was a programmer at one point, he was an inspiration to me because he really showed that it sounds cliche, but you can do anything. You could start off as this guy making calculator games, and you could grow to be the president of the company that you loved working for. You could. There's always something you can do to make someone else happy. And, for that reason, I always liked him. When other people would bash him, I'd be like, give him a freaking break. This isn't his fault. And he would do his best to fix it. And sometimes he would. Like, there were people bashing Earthbound not coming onto the Wii U's Virtual Console. And in a Nintendo Direct, he specifically took the time to tell fans that Earthbound would be coming to Virtual Console. And he said, "Oh, it'll come out August," and it came out in June, right? What a lot of people don't seem to understand is that Satoru Iwata made a lot of sacrifices. Okay, he did a lot for the company. He wasn't, in it just to make millions of dollars and retire. He was in it because he wanted to uphold what everyone before him upheld. The previous Nintendo president, when he retired, he didn't want any of his retirement money. He told it to be invested into Nintendo. And Iwata, similarly, when Nintendo had to make budget cuts and all that, Iwata decided he didn't want to lay off anybody. He would just cut his salary by 50%. And that happened when the Nintendo 3DS was coming out. The Nintendo 3DS wasn't selling well at first, so in order to reduce the price, Iwata cut his own salary. He didn't have to do that. He could have been like the normal corporate businessman, and he could have laid people off, but he decided that wouldn't solve anything. So he just cut his own salary. And he seemed fine with it. He's always seemed open to interviews. He always seemed like he just wanted to have a good time, and he did everything that he could. And so when I was just told this news all of a sudden, I was just like, there's no way. I was shocked. And, I understand. I understand people die. And I understand that you got to move on, and you just got to move past it, and I understand. But Iwata just left such an impact Like, I don't know if you guys realize, but the next time you watch a Nintendo Direct, he's not gonna be there. He always starts off the Direct with his now meme catchphrase. Hello, I'm Satoru Iwata, and I'm speaking directly to you. And he seemed self-aware that it was a meme, and that's not going to be there anymore. And I'm not just saying Satoru Iwata is the guy in the Nintendo Direct. I'm just giving you guys an example of something that left an impact, something that was funny to say. Uh, you know, he was a big icon to me. He just seemed like an all-around nice guy. Not your regular businessman that is just there to run a company, but a guy that just wanted to make people happy. And that's why I liked him. That's why I thought he was an inspiration. And I guess at this point I'm repeating myself. But yeah, he was a very, very smart man. Uh, I remember they brought him onto like a game show just to show off Balloon Fight, and he was talking about the fish that eats the player, and the people were like, "How do you know that?" And he's like, "Because I programmed that fish," and he would joke about it. And uh, it's crazy to think that he went from a programmer to this game director to the president of Nintendo to such an inspiring icon, and now he's gone. So I want to thank Satoru Iwata for everything he's done. I'm sad he's gone. He he really did mean a lot to me. I never got to meet him. I I I, I always saw him on a on a computer screen, and there were events I was at that he was at where I may have seen him at a distance once, but I never. He was someone I wanted to meet, and it's okay. Uh, he did a lot for Nintendo. He really did. And I hope people will actually appreciate it because he did leave a notable impact on the gaming industry. Not just Nintendo, but Satoru Iwata was a major icon in the gaming industry, and I hope people don't let that go unnoticed. And I don't know what Nintendo's doing in regards to a successor. I think there was some talk of Genyo Takeda, a fellow programmer and director, being in command, and cool. That's fine. I'm just like astonished that it was so sudden. I guess on the one hand, had it been brought up in the past saying Satoru Iwata's not doing well, people would have just run around saying like, "Oh, I hope he gets better." So it did cause a lot of like. There's no unnecessary drama that happened before this. Now everyone's just sending sincerest regards. So I guess the news was handled well. It's he was just such a nice guy and such a brilliant man and such like a people person. Such he was that guy that just did everything for fans. And okay, before I go back in circles, again, I would like to leave this video with I hope you guys send Nintendo and Satoru Iwata's family your sincerest regards, and I hope Nintendo will continue to be the great company that it's always been. And I hope you guys know that Satoru Iwata will always be an inspiration to me. So thank you for all you guys that watched me ramble on. I I will keep you guys up to date if there's any more news regarding the subject, but for now, Iwata really was a great man, and I'm sorry that he had to go. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you, Satoru Iwata, for everything. Bye, guys.